What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the frickin' Fragrance Fraternity. Thank God for another day to smell good. Let's talk about our favorite thing. Let's talk about some fragrance, a thing that we enjoy that brings us that rush of dopamine that we love, right? We got some cold weather fragrances that we're going to be talking about today. Some bangers, some real bangers here. And I want to obviously hear what you guys are going to be wearing in this cold weather season. Also, there was a sample set, a luxury sample set that has arrived, and I've been smelling them, and they're quite amazing. We can get into that as well. Vince and I both got the same sample set, and neither of us could really hold our containment. We had to break it open, we had to start smelling, and we had to start messaging each other our thoughts. But can you blame us? It's just too many great scents to check out. We could not contain ourselves. Oh well, but we can get into that a little bit. Let's get through the chat. I am just kind of wearing a bunch of the different samples that I was trying, nothing specifically. I did wear a little bit of the Elysium sample, so wearing that out a little bit. It's nice, very lovely, lovely scent. Let's get caught up in the chat. We'll go through some of these cold weather fragrances, and then maybe we'll talk some of the samples, and maybe we'll talk a little bit of what you guys are eyeing for Black Friday. I want to know what's on your radar. Gian is in the building. Thanks for being here. Wearing CK1 Shock, one of the best cold weather cheapies of all time. I agree with you, sir. Maybe the best cold weather cheapie of all time. And if maybe not one of the best cheapies, period, of all time. CK1 Shock. Great choice. You're smelling good today. Let's see. Jason is in the building. What's going on, Jason? Thanks for being here. Prada L'Homme Intense. Damn, killing the game. One of the best designer fragrances ever. One of the best iris fragrances ever. They do have a little 10 ml travel spray on FragranceNet that I've been eyeing for $16. Not a bad deal. I might have to get me a little bit of that Prada L'Homme Intense in my life. I do have the Making Sense version, Iris Man Intense, and it is quite good, but you can never beat the real thing. You are smelling amazing today, Jason. That's a fragrance that definitely deserves to be in this conversation, no doubt. Vince is here. What's up, brother? Nice DMs this morning with our unfiltered, unadulterated thoughts. PDM Cologne for Mr. Joel. Nice to see that you've escaped the matrix and you're here with us at the fraternity wearing PDM Cologne, a really bold choice today. A really interesting fragrance because when I first smelled it, I thought to myself, how in the hell could anybody want to wear this? How could anybody like this? And then lo and behold, 2 years later, my nose develops and all of a sudden, I think it's pretty good. And now I'm like considering picking it up. So funny how that changes. But Joel, you are smelling exquisite today, sir, and bold, if I do say so myself. Let's see who else we got here today. Mr. Saunders Scent, what's going on? Kind of a newer person that I've been connecting with a little bit. Kind of been seeing your name pop up here on the live streets, as well as the TLTG live streets, and a little bit on Instagram. So it's nice to connect with you and get to know you a little bit. You're out on the road, okay, wearing Carlisle, another PDM wearer today. Well, you are smelling fantastic day, but still smelling great. Thanks for being here, and hope your workday isn't too terrible. Maybe we can make it a little bit better. Full fragrance chat. Yeah. Monnier is in the building wearing an exquisite choice as always, coming in here with the bangers Frederic Malle Geranium Pour Monsieur. Okay, a little bit of Frederic Malle. Have not gotten the chance to try any of those. Certainly behind, and that's one that I should add to my radar. But Portrait of a Lady gets a lot of hype. Definitely got to get my nose on that. Mr. Dominique Ropillon perfumed it, and I'm a big fan of his work, I must say. So definitely behind on that, but I assume that you're smelling good. I haven't tried it personally. Let's move on to Kevin here from Lakeland, Florida. Good evening, Kevin. Thanks for being here. Hope you're feeling good. And if you're wearing anything, let us know what your scent of the day is. Smooth Operator is in the building, the smoothest operator, wearing YSL Kaftan. Okay, not familiar with that one. I assume that's one of their, private line, higher end type of deals. So I'm sure it's exquisite, but haven't personally tried it yet. Mr. Stan is in the building. Stan, how's it going? Hopefully, you got your bottle of Ralph's Club Elixir. Stan was our big winner from last week's giveaway. There will be more giveaway opportunities in the future. I love giving you guys stuff. I feel like I have way too many bottles at this point, and every now and again, I'd like to, share the love and give you guys some of these fragrances as well. Spread the love a little bit. You need Pradelum Intense. It's in my top 5 iris. I have a lot of iris fragrances. Yeah, I agree. I'm right there with you. The sentiment is right there. It is an amazing fragrance, and this 10 ml travel spray might be going home with me. We'll see. But yeah, I agree, man. I have a lot of iris, and it's kind of a note that I've got a decent amount of at this point, thankfully. But yeah, I understand. I understand your sentiment completely. Got back to work. Just wanted to say big thank you, Fragrance Fraternity, and I'll have a great day. Alrighty, no worries, Stan. Do not get fired on account of the Fragrance Fraternity, because then you won't be able to keep buying fragrances. We don't want that. All right. What's your all opinion on Amore Cafe? Does it smell like Kamarakawa? Well, funny that you ask, because I've been wearing the hell out of Amore Cafe, and it is amazing. I don't know about Kamarakawa. I would just say save up and get this, because the quality is going to be much better with this. This has that gourmand vanilla aspect to it. It's got this kind of like dessert-like feature, so you got to be a fan of gourmands. It maybe is a little bit on the feminine side, but I don't care. It's not fruity, it's not like, it doesn't come off girly. The thing that makes it feminine is the gourmand, cake-like edible aspect of it, which, that's not the most masculine thing in the world to smell like a snack. But hey, if you want to smell like a snack, this is going to be a great bet. Love it first sniff for me personally. You get a little bit of the vanilla. You get this amaretto note, which makes it a little bit different than other coffee fragrances. You do get a nice dose of that coffee, and it's not overly bold or overly aggressive. Just a great blend, sweet, playful, really enjoyable. I just got this one in, and I've been wearing it so much. Day Cafe for the best coffee fragrance I ever smelled. I think I still give the slight edge to La Tacita de Cafe from day 3, but this is certainly second place as far as best coffee fragrances I've ever tried. Yeah, Amore Cafe is a stunner, a real stunner. I definitely recommend it over Kamarakawa. Just save up, get this puppy. You won't regret it. Can't remember exactly how much I paid. 60 mLs too. I feel like the bigger bottles of the Mancera, it's just like they're too big. Too big. I already, I have enough fragrance going with the 60 mLs. So yeah, it's amazing. Long story short, it is absolutely amazing. We'll look at the notes here in a second. I'll get to the bottom of the chat, and then we'll see who else is in the building before we do that. Portrait of Lady looks very interesting. Yeah, it's the one that people talk about the most from Frederic Malle, and it's kind of like the fragrance that I guess made Dominique Ropillon famous or whatever. It was his kind of like claim to fame. He's had many fragrances, but that one is, I guess, the one that really set it off. I don't really know what the scent profile is like. Hopefully it's not like too much rose, because you know how I am with rose. So we'll see, but it's on the radar for sure. Vince says the Amore Cafe is really different from the Lataffa. Okay. Yeah, I'd assume it would be. What's going on, Sven? Nice to see you. I'm really happy to be back with you guys. I missed last week. I was doing this music thing and wasn't able to have this live chat. And this is a highlight of my week for me. I really love the people in this live chat. This little crew that we have here. You guys are just amazing, like positive, wonderful people. And I'm not the most talkative person in like social settings in the world. And this is the most talking I really do all week. But when I find people I like you guys, I really love chatting and getting your thoughts on stuff, and just happy to be here today. I love what we're doing here on these Wednesday live streams. Anyway, all that to say, Sven is just chilling. Nice to see you, Sven. Hopefully you're getting some good relaxation today, and hopefully you're smelling amazing. Yeah, WTF, why not? You're wearing Ophidian Black Cherry. Okay, not familiar with that one, but I assume it's a clone of something since it's a Paris corner, but yeah, cherry is certainly becoming more popular. A lot of fragrances incorporating the cherry. The cherry hype is growing. But yeah, there's some good cherry out there. We smelled the cherry in the sample set. Jadoub, was that the cherry one? No, no, no. Carmina. Carmina. I just smelled Carmina today from Creed, and good but feminine and a little bit rose. It's hard to find like a masculine cherry. I still have not found a cherry fragrance that I'm like, okay, this is cherry, but this is masculine. A lot of times the cherry comes off a little feminine to my nose. More cafe is the truth. It for sure is. It's amazing. It's really amazing. Let's see. Any thoughts on Argos Adonis Awakens? I love Travis Box and Danae, and I want to expand my Argos collection. I unfortunately have not tried any Argos, but people in the chat weigh in on Adonis Awakens and let Jason know what's good with that one. Let a brother know. Let's see. Guys saying what's up. I have Kawa. I just didn't want another one that smells the same for the DNA. Yeah, I don't blame you. I only wear a couple times a month. Well, yeah, I mean, if you kind of have a coffee fragrance that you is your go-to and you're happy with it, and you don't wear coffee all that often, do you need another coffee fragrance? No, but it just goes. It's just part of the addiction, right? You just buy more stuff that you like and whatever over time. But yeah, I mean, if just get a sample, I would say, don't go blind buy it, or if you have one of those higher end stores like um what's the other one? Bloomingdale's or whatever, these places that may have Mancera, you can just get your nose on it. I think within 30 seconds of smelling it, you're going to understand if you like it or not. But yeah, it's worth trying. It's worth trying a sample, even if you don't get the whole bottle or whatever. Mancera Mount, not trying to humble brag, but it's one of the better ones for sure. Let's see. Guerlain Cherry Oud. Okay, is the Paris Corner black cherry that he's wearing. Okay, cool. French Defense, the masculine cherry I've smelled. Yeah, I don't find it super masculine, but I think that's just the fact that I think cherry itself kind of smells feminine. Yeah, Joel actually brings up a good point. Yeah, the cherry has come out more, just kind of like you mentioned. So this fragrance I blind bought based off of Joel's recommendation. This is Artag Carltat Night, and this is certainly like a better quality oil than some of these other Middle Eastern fragrances that you may be used to. A beautiful fragrance here, and you get a lot of the cinnamon in the opening. It's very cinnamon dominant in the opening, which I like because it does become more of a masculine fragrance from that spiciness in the opening. You also get a decent amount of apple. It reminds me a little bit of those apple Yankee candles. If you've ever smelled any of those, I think it's the red one. Kind of gives you a similar feeling here. And then as it dries down, the more of the cherry becomes prominent here. I think as far as like the ranking of order of notes, I would go cinnamon first, and then apple, and then cherry. It has matured a little bit, and the cherry has become more prominent lately. I wore this one the other night. This is a lovely fragrance. Kind of gets some similarity to like PDM Wajan and Angel Share, but minus the booziness of Angel Share. But if you like a fragrance like Wajan, this is a solid alternative to that. And yeah, I don't think anybody around you will be wearing this. This is a very nice bottle as well. I think it looks pretty nice with the blue and the gold, and it has a cap that is decent, like heft to it, and it slides into place and it holds really well. So bottle is nice. The scent lasts a really long time. Great performance here. And yeah, good point, Joel. As far as a masculine cherry goes, this is the most masculine cherry I've tried, and it's the one that I like to wear the most. I could find myself wearing this more than a French Defense, just for whatever personal use. Anyway, I'm not saying it's better than French Defense. It's a different style of fragrance. French Defense is more of a cherry forward fragrance, but I do enjoy the Carltat Night, the cinnamon type of spice that it offers, and the more of a masculine edge that it offers, while still maintaining the cherry. So, great point, Joel. It is excellent. It is excellent. Definitely not denying it's excellent. Shopping at Bloomingdale's must be nice. Yeah, I mean, just the sample sets. But yeah. Vince coming in with the zingers. Took a week off. I wasn't ready for these zingers to be personally attacked. But yeah, this is the sample set that I picked up. If they still have it, guys, you may want to look into this. I mean, for $40, you're getting a lot of different fragrances here. Some of the highlights are Tigar. You get this Jadub by Mind Games. You have Elysium. You have this one, which I'm going to tell you guys about. I actually broke my no by November and yeah, ended up getting this because I loved it so much. We're going to talk about this one in a second here. Excellent. This one is for women, but think it was awesome. If you like white florals and citrus, it's seriously amazing. And then we have Blue Talisman, we have Carmina, we have Joe Malone, Wood, Sage, and Sea Salt, which is, it was okay. It's nice, mass appealing type thing. We have Arabian's Tonka, which I didn't really love, I'll tell you right now. And also this Penhaligon's is really good. I mean, this sample set is amazing. These are all really amazing fragrances, and for $40, it's like a no-brainer. It also comes with like a little travel spray. I was gonna save this topic for doing it with Vince, but you know, I'm gonna have a hard time. I have a feeling we're gonna talk about them because I'm excited about smelling them. I got my nose on a whole bunch of new awesome stuff, and I just want to tell you guys about it. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to wait until Monday or whatever. Anyway, let's see. I like it. I don't know if I'm going nose blind or what, but after 15 minutes, can't smell it unless I smell my arm and shirt. Yeah, I mean, probably a little bit of a nose fatigue type thing going on there, unfortunately. Yeah, Vince, did you get your Comme Parfum in? Let me know what you think about it. I want to hear your thoughts, and then I'll tell you what I think about it. Even though I probably already have. Sadly, don't have any retail that sells Manceros where I live. Yeah, that is unfortunate. Well, might have to look into the old scent split thing. And for those of you guys that don't know, if you, little hack that I found with scent split, if you build a cart and then you don't touch it for maybe a week or so, they'll usually send you a coupon. So I had a cart that I hadn't touched in like 2 weeks or something, and they sent me 20% off, which is the most that they've ever sent me. And I was able to get a good deal off some samples that are coming in. So little hack there for scent split, because sometimes their pricing is a little bit more, but with the coupon, it ends up being a better deal. All right. I'm not surprised you find French Defense feminine, but I'm surprised you find French Defense feminine, but not Chopard Lemon Dolce. That's very feminine for me. I think Lemon Dolce is pretty feminine as well. I think it is pretty feminine. I just think it's more of a casual wear and just a little bit more. You could find more situations to wear it. I mean, it's just a fresh lemon scent, whereas French Defense is kind of like, it's stepping out a little bit. It's a little bit more situational. It's a little bit more evening times only. And it's just competing a little bit more with other specific fragrances for like specific evening time date-ish situations. So yeah, usually the citrusy type of like fresh type stuff that leans more feminine, I get down with a little bit more than the kind of especially like the rose oud type stuff that may lean a little feminine. That just sets me off a little bit, but I'm more apt to wear like the citrusy type stuff. But yeah, I mean, that's a good point. I mean, yeah, that is a good point. Guys, keeping me honest, I like it. Don't, you know, no hypocrisy will be tolerated at the fragrance fraternity. So when I'm fronting or bullshitting, you guys let me know. Keep me in check over here. Vince does a great job, but you know, other people, don't be afraid to chime in as well. Electimus Caspian Cherry might be the next cherry fragrance I'll buy. Okay. Well, another one. You got to let us know if it's going to dethrone French Defense, because the Call Tot Night did not dethrone it, but it was a good fragrance nonetheless. I'm happy to own it. Where did you get that? The Bloomingdale's thing? I just got it. Let's look if they still have it. Let's look if they still got it. Share my screen. All right. Let me see. Bloomingdale's luxury sample set. I believe it was from the Bloomingdale's website. Yep, they still have it, I think. Yep, this is it. Oh, damn it, they don't. Unavailable. People went off. If you guys are not in the Reddit, like fragrance deals, I think someone posted that on there, or maybe on Facebook. But shout out to the heroes that post these amazing deals. 260 bought in the last 5 days. Yeah, people saw this and they jumped on it. Maybe they'll restock it, so maybe something to keep an eye on. But yeah, this is where I got it. Was from the Bloomingdale's website, and it arrived like within a day. So I was very impressed with that. Um, yeah, this is it. I click it, and then it opens a new tab, which that is not something you can see. So I'm gonna make it so you can. But yeah, maybe they do still have it. Unclear. Maybe they do still have it. Yeah, but this is it. $40 from Bloomingdales.com. So if you guys want to look into that, the value for money is there. I don't have an affiliation with them. I don't make any money from it. Just giving you guys the goods. I think it's really worth the money. It's all good. Talk about them, man. No, don't need to wait. Yeah, get the word out. Yeah. I'm gonna get the word out about these because the sample set might be gone, and well, yeah. I have a feeling we should just talk about that instead of these cold weather fragrances, because it's like, you guys know, we'll talk about a couple cold weather fragrances just real quick, and then we'll talk about the sample set because I think that's a little bit more interesting for everybody. So what else do you guys not know about? I mean, I feel like you guys know about all these. Let me tell you about this one. This one could be of good value just because I found it at the rack store. So I found this Boss Bottle Triumph Elixir. This was the end of my no by November. RIP to my discipline. I saw this one out for $60 at Ross. So maybe check your Ross if you have this now. And this was a blind buy as well. And I'm happy that I blind bought this, because if I was to smell this fragrance at a department store or something, I don't know that I would really go for it. And I don't know that I would wear it. And I would be like comparing it to other stuff I'm smelling. You know, that's just what we naturally do. You compare it to the other things you're smelling that day and figure out which one's your favorite. But the fact that I had to blind buy this and wear it and get to know it, I now enjoy a scent profile that is completely different than anything that I own or really have gravitated to in the past. And that is being a woody patchouli and also a like chocolatey patchouli. So let's like pull up the note breakdown of this, and I'm going to tell you about this fragrance because it's pretty interesting. And this is a 2023 release, so it just came out this year. And you know, the rack stores have sucked for a while, but I got to give them props. As of late, I've been finding some real nice pickups from there. Let's pull up the notes for this, and then I can tell you guys my thoughts about it. There's a decent amount to unpack with this fragrance. So Boss Bottled Triumph Elixir. Triumph Elixir. Yeah. All right. So I don't really have too much experience with patchouli besides Mancera Black Gold. That's kind of the most patchouli dominant experience that I have so far. So this was really interesting that I got to experience patchouli and really, you know, understand it a little bit better through this fragrance. So the thing about the opening of this fragrance that may throw people off is it doesn't have it listed on here, but it has vetiver in the top if you look on other sites. And vetiver is usually a base note, right? But there is this kind of mossy vetiver that it opens up with that will definitely throw some people off. It threw me off too. I don't dislike vetiver, but sometimes when it's kind of like mossy and really earthy, it can be challenging. Thankfully, it's only in the opening. So that fades, and what you're left with is a really kind of like chocolatey cake-like patchouli underneath that is so different than anything else that I would normally wear. So I really am enjoying this fragrance. I think for $60, it is an absolute steal, and it's definitely more for fragrance enthusiast type people. I hear it's a little fresher than the Elixir. This is the Triumph Elixir, but really a unique one. So quite happy with this. I didn't really like it at first, but then I wore it. It got to the mid and the dry down, and it became excellent. It really became excellent, captivating, and all those things that you would want as like a fragrance person. Doesn't get boring, kind of unique. So a really great introduction to really test if you like patchouli or not, because if you can get down with the mid and the dry down of this fragrance, you can get down with patchouli. So it's a good test. And yeah, I enjoy it. I think it's really, really interesting, and it's really pushing the boundaries of what you would expect from a designer. I blind bought vanilla oud and forgot I had a sample cart that I forgot, and they sent me a coupon code. Okay, cool. Well, nice. You can use that coupon code maybe for something else, for a more cafe and maybe some other stuff that you're interested in. I do have a sample of vanilla oud coming as well. So I've heard the talk, I've heard the support and the praise, and that it's one of the best fragrances I own. And I've also heard the other side where it's overhyped, it's garbage. So, and yeah, for for self-claiming not to be really a vanilla guy, I've been finding a lot of fragrances with vanilla that I really love. So I'm kind of going back on that statement a little bit. I think it's really important, if you are smelling these vanilla fragrances, that you do it in the correct time of year, because if you smell them in the middle of the summer, you may get a very, very different experience and impression of them than if you're smelling them in the fall or winter, which is when they're meant to be worn, right? So I'm excited. I can finally comment on if it's overhyped garbage or if it is indeed one of the best fragrances to ever be created. Vertus has some excellent offerings that I'm certainly interested in. Narcosis is another sample I have on the way, and also Sol Patchouli has gotten a lot of love that I have a feeling is going to be excellent as well. They have some another fragrance called Amber Elixir, which has like a dried fruit accord that is interesting. Some interesting stuff from Vertus. I'm excited to get my nose on a couple of their offerings and see where the journey takes me with them. So, Gian, are you a Jason B and Josh crew or everyone else crew? Yep. See, that's what I'm trying to determine, because there's been so much controversy about Vertus Vanilla Oud. So it's time that I can partake in the politics of Vertus Vanilla Oud. What do you think, Joel? Are you team Vanilla Oud, or are you team Jason V? Or are you team Sips and Sniffs, I guess would be the proper way to go about that. Talking about, I'm at Burlington. Mine's so packed. Yeah, I don't doubt it. I mean, it's the holiday time, and they do have good stock, but it is popping. Everybody's trying to get their scent game on point, which is not a bad thing. Hey, Alicia, thanks for being here. Hope you're doing well. Let us know if you're wearing anything today. Snow moving in tonight. What's going on up there in Michigan? 60 here all week. Uh-oh. Well, get your you guys have skiing over there? You guys probably can go skiing over there up in Ohio. I don't know. I've never been there, but I'd assume they have some sort of skiing. It's pretty much the only fun thing you can do when it snows, right? Let's see. I have heard Boss Bottle Absolute has been popping up at Ross. Okay. Oh, the Absolute. Interesting. Yeah, I would definitely be interested if the Absolute was there. That one, it's also been getting some hype. Boss has been coming through with some great fragrances here as of late. Gotta say, gotta give it up to Hugo Boss. It's raining over there. It's raining on Sven on his day off. Uh-oh. Well, perfect weather for a little bit of fragrance chat on the interwebs, right? Do you think a 1.3 ounce Coach Open Road is worth $20? I haven't tried it, but I mean, yeah, $20 for Coach fragrance. I think that's fair. I do know. So the reason I didn't get that one was because I heard it was kind of similar to Dolce & Gabbana K and also Rochas L'Homme, which are two blue fragrances that I don't really get down on. I like most blue fragrances, but something about the juniper berry and the way that it's used in those isn't really my style. So I kind of stayed away from that one, even though I heard it's pretty good. But $20, it's probably worth a gamble, even if you don't like it. I don't know. You know, we're all financially in different spots, but just my 2 cents. Really like Sol Patchouli. Yeah, I want to get my nose on that one. I have a feeling it's going to be a huge hit for me. Yeah. Grabbing Dark Cherry and Amber. Okay, yeah, that's a good Banana Republic one I had. That's a decent, affordable cherry fragrance right there. Again, a little feminine to my nose, but I think that's just a me thing. And cherry, I think anytime I smell cherry, it kind of gives me that impression. Team Vertus Vanilla Oud since day one. Well, okay then, Joel. 10-4. Serge Lutens, FDB. Very nice. I haven't tried any of them, but I'm very close to pulling the trigger on some. I've been looking at those Fragrance Net 10 mls, and they had Shergi, which I know is Joel's favorite, right? Is that your favorite, Joel? Don't let me put words in your mouth. That they had for a 10 ml there for a decent price too. So, and that one I was looking, it's like a honey fragrance. I've been getting more into honey as it's been getting colder. So it's definitely got me interested. You can get 100 ml on fragrance for $30. Well, there you go. Can get a better price per milliliter online. Small skiing in hills in Ohio, nothing like out west. Well, better than nothing, I guess. Alrighty. Well, let's do we'll talk about one more fragrance and then we'll get into these samples because that's what we want to talk about, it seems. You guys know about BDK Gris Charnel. Absolutely love this fragrance. Have not worn it enough. Got it in a couple weeks ago. And the first time I wore it, it completely made my nose like super runny and I was sneezing. So got to really be careful with spraying this one directly on like where you're going to pick it up because it could set you off. I don't know. Some people, their nose begins to like run and was like a little bit more sensitive to that. And it kind of depends on the fragrance for me, but the spices were hitting it. I think I still love the way it smells. It's just going to be an under the shirt type spray fragrance for me going forward. But yeah, really cozy scent. Lavender, it's got fig, it's got cardamom, it's got this black tea note, and it's kind of one of the better niche fragrances that you can get for the cooler weather, in my opinion. Some people prefer the X-Straight and think it's a little bit more masculine. I think the X-Straight is quite nice. I just like the blend of the EDP personally. So yeah, Gris Charnel is just a fantastic fragrance that you really got to get your nose on, guys. It's such a amazing cold weather staple for me. Turning into that as I'm wearing it more, at least. Need to get a little dent going in that puppy. It's kind of a shame at how full it is, I must say. All right. Well, let's talk about some of these samples. So, this is going to get real controversial real quick because I got some opinions that you may not agree with, but you can't say I'm being fake. All right. So, how should we do this? Let me pull up the one I'm talking about so you guys can like follow along with it so you know what I'm talking about, because I'm not going to just hold that little sample right here. I think that would be ridiculous. Let me share my screen again. Get back here. So the first one, let's talk about Tigar. So this is in there. I've smelled this before, but it was good to get my nose on it. This fragrance has gotten a lot of hype and a lot of attention, and it's very expensive, and it's not the most complex thing. Mainly, you're going to get this grapefruit. That's really the star of the show. You do get some other citruses in there. They're calling it just ginger, but I think there's, some bergamot and other stuff going on as well. It does have a nice depth to the citrus. This ambrette, which is kind of like a musk that I found I really enjoy in a lot of fragrances. And then you get like some freshness with musk and broxin and some base notes or whatever. Mainly just a fresh fragrance to be worn in the summer. It's not really the time of year for it, but see, it's highly rated, 4.45 with almost 2,000 votes. That's nothing to shake a stick at, as they say. But the thing is, for the money, like, how much do these go for? It's like $400 for Tigar. It's just crazy priced, guys. Yeah, 400. 308. No, it's a different fragrance. Yeah, like 400. So I think you're just better off going with Alexander's Black Panther. And this is one situation where the clone is just going to be better value for money for you. If you're balling out of control like Vince and money is no thing, get the real deal, man. But if you're looking for the best value for your money, I think Black Panther from Alexander is the way to go. If you want something similar, you can also, look into that kind of L'Immensity profile. Personally, I'm a huge fan of Suspiro's Vibrato. I also would prefer that one over Tigar because I think the ginger forward nature of Vibrato is a little bit more prominent. It's not as much grapefruit. It's more ginger, and I prefer that. So it just kind of depends. If you like grapefruit more, maybe go with Tigar. Maybe if you like ginger more, you go with Vibrato, like me. Same kind of effervescence, same kind of zing, same kind of sparkle, really citrus forward fragrance. It's mainly for the summer. You can wear this at a wedding too. I've worn this at a couple like weddings that I've DJ'd at, and it wasn't too basic or whatever. It had a nice elegance to it, especially in the summer. It's like a perfect fragrance. This is one of my top 10, I would say, fragrances. So yeah, you can also go with, Tarathi Blue if you want kind of a more affordable take. But if you're going to go the clone route, I suggest you go with Black Panther from Alexandria. I think that's going to be your best bet. And also, if you want kind of a more, this is not really Tigar. This is maybe, well, kind of, but this is kind of a more winterized version of a similar idea. Not exactly the same, not exactly focused on the citrus aspect, more so you're going to get more of a vanilla type deal here, and you're going to get a little bit more of a floral type deal, and you're going to get more of an amber as well. So it's kind of winterized version of a ginger fragrance with a similar idea, more so like vibrato than Tigar, but it's in that wheelhouse. But yeah, this is awesome, guys. If you don't know about Goldfield and Banks, they make really natural smelling, high quality fragrances for a very decent price. So if quality is something that is important to you, Goldfield and Banks is one that's worth looking into. You get more of this vanilla and amber prominence, kind of like I mentioned, this cashmere, and yeah, no grapefruit in here, but certainly the ginger is prominent. People kind of say this smells like a Moscow Mule, and I definitely get that, but this is a beautiful fragrance. Let me get caught up in the chat, and then we'll go through some more of the sample set. I'll give you more of my controversial opinions that may not actually be all that controversial at the end of the day. All right, I got behind quick. I like that. You guys are chopping it up. That makes it flow. I think, yeah, I think I was like right here. We were talking about skiing. I was in this range. Okay. Yep. And that's where we were. All right. Chergy is my favorite Serge Lutens, but Dans le Bleu que porte in the sparkling blue might dethrone it. And you know what else I love about these fragrance names is I get to practice my French accent. So yeah, that's, if for nothing else, it's always fun just to hear me bust out my Pink Panther. Dans le Bleu que porte. I wish I spoke French. That would probably be helpful, but I don't, or at least could understand what that means. Yeah, I don't know about that one. I'm going to add that one to my try list. I got this running list going, and many of them are just Joel Matrix recommendations. So I got to definitely add this one. I think a Serge Lutens discovery set maybe in the future here at the Fragrance Fraternity. It is looking that way. It's getting some love from all y'all. Joel, that one is nice, but a little too powdery for me. Okay. I don't mind powdery, so I don't mind it. On my way to church, we'll have a great service. Hopefully it is moving and meaningful to you. Scent of the day, Armoff Club Doing Man Untold. I believe that is the BR540 one. So you're flexing on him, Greg. You're flexing on him. Gion, I came to find Blue Oud, but I haven't been able to find it, sadly, and been passing on Cherry and Dark Amber for a while. I'm going to grab it. Okay, I think you're talking about the Latafa Blue Oud. I've been loving the Ahmed Al-Maghribi. I think I told you guys about that last time. I think it has entered my official top 10. So shout out to Vince for sending over that sample. Otherwise, I would have never experienced it. But holy crap. If you guys are, it's like Dylan Blue meets Tuscan Leather, basically. It's freaking amazing. If you like blue fragrances, but you're kind of bored of like the same old, check out Ahmed Al-Maghribi's Blue. It's got that wearability. It's got that versatility. It's got amazing performance. And it also has a little bit of interest and complexity. Like regular people are going to love the way you smell, and you're going to love the way you smell too. It's got this like oud leather type thing going on too, kind of like Tuscan Leather, fruity, but blue as well, like Dylan Blue. Seriously sick. Serge Lutens is real artistry, one of my favorites. All right, yeah, there probably will be a sample set or some, samples of that brand coming here soon. The hype is growing of Serge Lutens. Jacques Depot is my favorite. Okay, yeah, that one's on my list as well. It's definitely on my radar. Your favorite is Arabi. Okay. I'm so behind on these. The USPS is starting to piss me off over here. I had 2 packages in my post office for 3 days and still not delivered. WTF. Yeah, that is really annoying when they're just like right by your house, but not quite there. It's like, well, I can just go pick them up at this point, right? I could just go drive over there and get them if you guys aren't gonna bring them over here for 3 days. That is annoying. And you know what else is annoying is like when they give you an estimation of it's gonna be here on said day, and then that day passes and it doesn't arrive, and you're like, okay, well, I'll give them a leeway of another day. And then that day it doesn't come either. And then the next day doesn't come either. It's like, all right, these damn predictions, man. Losing it with these predictions. 5 o'clock, Jean Bright. Is that a Serge Lutens? I assume. My post office does the same thing. I smelled and own at least decants of probably 30 Serge Lutens. A friend orders from France and hooks me up. He loves them. Well, not all of us have these connections in France, Vince. Don't hoard these connections, man. Come on. You gotta let us peasants have a little fun here too. With your French connections over here. Just wore blue cypress on Monday. Okay. What's up, Kara? Hopefully you're doing well. Wearing Valentino Uomo Intense. Okay. I didn't know you get down on Iris like that. I like to see that. Very nice. Very, very nice. Jason, my post office is usually pretty good, but this week, not so much. It's getting closer to that holiday season. They are getting burned out. I packaged by my local post office since yesterday, and they didn't deliver it today. That's what we're saying. That's what we're all here complaining about. These damn packages, got to get them to us. You ever smelled the ever elusive in Achilles? Interesting. I love powdery. I do like powdery as well. I do like some powdery goodness as well. 40 knots, Blue Noir Parfum, Le Male Parfum. What else is powdery that I like? Prada Black is a little powdery. Yeah, I like that powder. Get down with it. Out the shower, sprayed squid from Zoologists. Let us know what you think about squid. Serge Filet and Anguilles. Okay, I'll add that one too. Serge. I'm butchering the name, I'm sure. Anguilles. Okay. I hate my post office. I'm going into Huntsville getting a P.O. box. You think that's going to be faster with a P.O. box? I guess since they don't have to take it from the post office to your place, save some time. They just leave it in the box in the post office. I guess that makes sense. Royal Oud from Ahmed Al-Maghribi. I heard that one's pretty good. I think that's the one you're talking about. Royal Oud. Valdo, what's going on? Thanks for being here. That's either your scent of the day or you're suggesting Royal Oud from Ahmed Al-Maghribi because we were just talking about it. Mr. Vance is here. Hello, Vance. Thanks for being here. No scent of the day. Hey, give the old nose a break sometimes. And then you come back and you're like, wow, fragrance is amazing. Sven, you can order from the website. Decant to me about 20 ml of it. Okay, then. You're wearing Leighton today. Nice vanilla choice. A PDM classic. Great, nice choice here today. I just bought Serge Lutens Dans le Bleu que Porti. It's apparently a bit battery. Good price on it. Apparently discontinued, but still on Fragrance Net. Well, scoop it up while you can. Am I right? Honestly, been pretty lucky here. I shouldn't complain about some of the stories I've heard. There are some fragrance shipping horror stories out there. It would make a very, very scary movie. Mine goes from bad to worse this time of year. Oh, yeah. Aqua Senziala Blue powdery. It is powdery. That is a good call. That is another powdery fragrance I enjoy. And I think you do too as well. That is also known as the TLTG Special for obvious reasons. Blaine, what's going on? Prada Black's my favorite designer, hands down. I got a backup bottle coming tomorrow, hopefully. Okay, favorite designer, hands down. Wow. High praise. That, I mean, it is really good. It is really good, you know. I'm not going to fault you for having to be your favorite. There was a time when I would have said maybe not my favorite, but I would have probably put it up there. But you know, I'm a Prada guy. I love my Prada fragrances, so you're not gonna hear any complaints from me for showing Prada Black some love. Blaine is in the building with his little penguin emoji. Hopefully he's not as cold as a penguin or as chubby as that little penguin, but it's a little baby penguin, so it's got a little baby chub, so we'll let it slide. Bob Vance Refrigeration. All right. I don't know what the heck that's about, but day 3 of Scondola. Ooh, nice tropical like guava. That is a good one. That is a really, really good tropical fragrance from them. I was really impressed by that one. I think that one's better than Bonnie, personally. I like it more than Bonnie. Bonnie was not for me, but a lot of people like Bonnie, so got to be careful. Don't want to piss everybody off, and no one's going to be left. Yes, on Aqua Senziale Blue, it's good for the price off the hook. Good. Yeah, it is good. I have a great scent memory tied to Aqua Senziale Blue. It was the fragrance that I wore when my brother was having his first kid. They're doing a little gender reveal, and I wore Aqua Senziale Blue, and now forever I have that memory tied in my head of that day. So it's pretty awesome. And then on my niece's first birthday, I wore Aqua Senziale Blue. So it's kind of becoming the fragrance that I associate with my niece in a fun way. So it's becoming more meaningful of a fragrance for me. Wish they had a Prada black clone. Well, why do you need a clone when you got the real deal? Just wear the real thing if you got the real thing. I buy 5 bottles today. Oh my gosh, you do love it. You know, the bottles, they last longer than you think. And I know you got a decent sized collection, so don't get a clone. If you already got the real one, just wear the real one. Life's too short, you know. Don't save it for something special. Just wear it every day if you want. Life is too short. We have these fragrances. They're meant to be worn. Wear them. I do that too. I won't wear like my really expensive stuff, you know. I try to like save it, but that's the wrong approach. They're meant to be worn. Wear the hell out of them. And it should be a pleasure to finish a bottle. You should celebrate the fact that you finished the bottle. All right. Anyway, enough preaching. I like Squid, not a love, but only 15 minutes in. Okay. James, what's up, man? How are you? I'm doing well. We're just talking about one of our favorite things here, these smelly alcohols that we just love and obsess over a little bit. So I'm doing great. Talking to some of my favorite people here in this live chat. Really, I really like talking to you guys. I don't just say that to blow smoke up your butt. I really enjoy our conversations here, and I find it pretty stimulating. I picked up Bentley for Men Absolute, okay, and Bentley for Men Intense will be here Friday. Well, I hope the next thing that arrives at your door is a Bentley car, and then you'll have the whole trifecta ready to go, ready for the weekend. But yeah, I haven't tried any of those. Have not. I've only tried one Bentley fragrance, and it was Bentley Momentum Unlimited, I think, and it's supposed to be like CH Men. Had it for a while, sold it off. Whatever, wasn't that crazy about it, but I hear Bentley for Men Intense is great. You know, it's got a lot of hype and good for the cold weather. And don't really know about the Absolute, but hope you like them. I'll just say that. Hope you like them. Wearing Neffs to the gym, you're crazy, man. That's funny that you'd wear Neffs to the gym, because when Ross talks about Neffs, he's like, you know, I don't know if I'm going to buy it because it's so situational that I would never have a situation to wear it. And Vince is over here like, oh yeah, I'm wearing Neffs at the gym. No biggie. All right. I see you, Vince. I see you. I got 100 mil not long ago. Big balling. Yeah. Vince is always balling on us. That's what I'm saying. Speak of the devil. Yeah. Vince can't be serious. Oh, he'll wear it to the gym. I wouldn't put it past him. Vince is like, you know, Vince is a crazy guy, man. He'll do it. He'll do it to him. And since we do have Ross hang out in the chat, I'm just going to drop the link in case he wants to join. No pressure, obviously, but if I don't drop it now, I'm going to completely forget about it. And yeah, I'm just going to be wasting everyone's time here. So let me just do that real quick. Shouldn't take too long. And he can jump on. I always love talking to my guy, and I appreciate him gracing us with his knowledge. It's pretty cool. It's definitely something I look forward to. Always hoping he comes in on these Wednesday streams. Always got my fingers crossed that Ross is going to pop into the chat. Because get to chat with someone that I've really viewed as a mentor in this game. All right, let's talk about another one of these little puppies. Let's talk about this Ode Audacity from Penhaligons. talk about that one because that one caught me off guard. I've not tried anything from Penhaligon's. I've heard amazing things about them, heard that they're, top tier perfumery. And this one is making a statement. It's left an impression on me. Definitely has. Let's get into this Penhaligon's. Oh, the audacity. Perfect fragrance for what we're talking about. Similar to the audacity that Vince has wearing Neffs to the gym. Interesting bottle, kind of like an old school type of thing here. Don't really see many new bottles looking like this. Looks like something that would have come out a long time ago, right? But in reality, it's pretty new. Came out in 2023. So the vanilla in this is absolutely beautiful, guys, but it's also got this kind of dark edge to it as well. It's a mysterious type of fragrance. It doesn't come across too smoky. It does have a bit of like this creaminess to it, a bit of a powderiness, but more so a creaminess. And this leather note is prominent, which is really nice. A little bit spicy, but really the star of the show is this amber vanilla and the leather. So an evening time stunner. Quality is on point. I'm not really sure how much these bottles go for, but this one caught me by surprise. Vanilla can be very hit and miss for me. This one was certainly a hit and something I would never have been able to try if I didn't order the sample set. So definitely one you guys should sample, at least get your nose on, have on your radar if you get the chance to try this one. Very impressive from Penhaligon's. So that was one of the ones that I really liked. Vince, let us know what you think about this Penhaligon's one. He also got the same sample set. And now that I've been pretty positive, let's go to one that I'm guess not so positive about. Can be a little hater here for a minute because I've been so positive. Got to balance it out with some trashing of Memo. Guys, Memo does not work for me. Everything I've tried from them has not been it. But we'll continue that conversation here in just a minute because, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for the one and only TLTG Reviews. How the hell are you, man?
I'm doing well. How are you, man? I got a little bit of time. Figured I'd jump on.
I appreciate you being here. I love when you come on here on these Wednesdays. I'm always kind of hoping that you will. And let's do it. Let's get into this.
Let's do it, man. Yeah. So Vince is wild, first and foremost. He said he's easy on the sprays. That one spray. That's a strong, sweet fragrance. It's gorgeous. Oh my God, is it amazing? But you wild, man. You one of them dudes I don't want to train with.
Vince is always giving me a hard time for being bougie, and then now here he is bougie. Wearing Neffs at the gym.
That's bougie. You wearing Neffs to the gym? That stuff's like $250 on discounters for 50 ml. You rocking that to the gym for what? For what? Don't tell me it's just so you can enjoy the aroma while you training. Don't you lie to me. Lie to someone else, Vince.
It's his favorite fragrance. I think he's just like looking for any excuse.
Now, you know what? If it's legitimately his favorite fragrance, I could get down with that. If that's the case, then he really is wearing it just to smell it. If it's legitimately his favorite, that's the one thing he could tell me would be, all right, I get it.
I think he is. He has to be.
Oh, so I'm assuming, based on what you said, I thought he said this before. So Vince, now I got to know. Was I right the first time, or he's covering the ass right now, or is like that really your favorite fragrance? Because if it's really your favorite fragrance, I get it. Wear whatever. Really, it doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things. I just think that's wild to wear something so strong. You know.
Let us know, Vince. We're putting you on trial right now.
You're on the spot, sir. Let me know.
He claims it's his favorite, whether we believe him or not.
I can get down with that. If it's your favorite, even if it's some crazy funky oud fragrance, which I think is even wilder to wear to the gym. And I know some people do that. That's crazy to me. But I am not here to judge. I may joke a little bit, but stay away from me when you're at the gym. I ain't trying to sniff you up and down. I'm trying to get intense workouts in. I ain't worried about that,
It's okay. Ross just trying to be nice. Vince, I'm going to judge you. What the hell are you doing, man? Get it together.
See, I raised you well. There we go.
Have you tried this French leather?
I haven't. I've tried I don't know, did I? No, I think the rose leather, ocean leather. Have I tried Irish leather? I think I've tried Irish leather too, and of course African leather. That's the main one to try. Ocean leather, I'd still like to get a bottle at some point.
Okay, yeah.
Quite nice.
I would want to try that one because these
That's the one.
rose dominant
It's
ones
the
are
most
not
mass appealing.
working for me.
Well, I mean, it's based around leather accords. It's definitely an art form they chose to run with, and depending on your taste, obviously, they do it really well. It's just got to be your taste. You know, all of the different leather fragrances they make are extremely well composed. It's just a taste thing. Clearly it's not yours, so I understand.
Yeah, it's definitely a taste thing. It's the Oud Rose is not my favorite, but I think Kix Griffey would love it because it does have that prominent rose, and I know that's like one of his favorite notes.
Rose is to him what Iris is to me. Shout outs to my man Kix Griffey. That's for sure.
Let's talk about.
I feel like since we're gonna bring him up, we gotta start the live stream like he does. Oh man.
Yeah, 11 o'clock, guys. If you guys want to get your day started right with some fragrance talk, either here or on Instagram.
Monday, Wednesday, Friday on Instagram. Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday on YouTube.
Do not miss out on the Kix
And there's
Griffey
a really good chance on Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Sometimes he does it on Tuesdays because was it yesterday? It was yesterday. So he was, it might be Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday that he does IG, and I got it backwards because yesterday him, Josh, and Jim's were on there and they baited me into jumping on while I was doing shoulders. So a lot of the times there's a really good chance you're going to see me, and if you see me, you're going to see Jim's or vice versa. And then Josh is sporadic as well. It's usually the four of us or some combination of it when he's live on IG. Or Terrence. Shout out to Terrence. You'll see Terrence on there too.
Kix is here, man. And
there he is. Ask it. Say he's like Joe Hendry. Say his name and he appears.
Yeah, he definitely is a big supporter and he's always showing love. So I gotta show it right back to the main man, Kix Griffey.
That's my guy.
So I don't know if you got the background, but we were talking about winter fragrances and then we kind of just started talking about the sample set that I ordered because I'm really excited about it, and it seems to be a little bit more interesting for people than just winter fragrances. So we kind of changed topics here, but
yeah, for sure.
Basically it was $40 and it was at Bloomingdale's, and there's a lot of really awesome scents in here.
Wow.
Yeah, like incredible selection for $40.
Wow. Blue Talisman, some Montals, Elysium. You've got Prada, Bulgari. Damn.
Yeah. Insane value.
How much was it?
$40.
Oh, that's worth it right there to try. What's that, like 2 dozen or 20 or something like that?
There's 15. There's 16 actually in total. I'm going to show you guys the.
That's a lot, because when you look, if it's all like around 2 ml, when you look at the per ml price of some of those bottles, that's actually extreme value. Like the Bulgari, that private line fragrance, that stuff, those are $400 or $500 a bottle.
Yeah, it was great to smell Tigar again and try it at home.
It was Tigar. Tigar's so good.
Yeah, it's Tigar, and they give you a little decanting like travel atomizer thing too, which is pretty cool that I've never seen before in a kit.
That is some pretty serious value for $40. That might be one of the most bang for your buck discovery sets I think I've ever seen, based on what you're showing me right now.
Yeah, I had to buy it immediately. It was like, okay, no questions asked.
That's a good way for somebody stepping outside of designer, buy something like that.
Definitely.
A lot of variety.
And there's a couple in here that I'm really stoked about. Especially this one that I got pulled up. It's called, I've never heard of this house before.
Me either.
It's called Beau, and it is just crazy.
Well, based on the accords in the name, I'm assuming it's in cannabis. So I'm assuming it's based around vetiver. Obviously cannabis, but I would assume a strong vetiver note here.
There is a bit of it to my nose, but it's not super like mossy and hard to like. A lot of the green really comes out.
Well, considering it says ozonic and aquatic, I would assume it's pretty damn fresh.
It is. It's kind of, it wears kind of like a Oolong Cha, except it's not as like citrusy. It definitely has a bit of like this tea vibe to it. But it's got more depth and more.
Is it kind of you know how you get a lot of vigor, kind of that revitalizing, energizing feel from Oolong Cha? Does it give you something similar?
It does. I think Oolong Cha is a little bit more refreshing than this, but still in that same vein, in that same kind of wearing style.
Pretty highly rated. Came out this year.
It's incredible. It's very unique. I've never smelled anything like it. The cannabis note is not like offensive like it can be in some fragrances, like that bad boy one. The cannabis
I was
is like
about to bring
too
it
much.
up. Some people get mad at me when I talk about how it just smells like weed in the open. They're like, "Oh, it's magic, it's beautiful." Yeah, but you got to wait 30 minutes to get to the beauty of that. You're gonna smell like weed for 30 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that one it's more
Yeah,
challenging. This one is
same.
much fresher. It's perfect for our lifestyle, our by the beach lifestyle. Just these kind of wearable fragrances, the versatile ones that you can wear casually, but still are not the same old boring thing. Something interesting and unique and new while still having the match to our particular lifestyle. So that's what I really love about this one. Um, couldn't help myself, bought it immediately. It's on sale for Black Friday. I wish I could give you this little decant just like through the screen and you can like try it right now.
Well, that'd be convenient, wouldn't it? If you
But
send it to me, it might be a month and a half before I touch it. So don't do
that's
that.
what I'm thinking. I was going to offer
Don't
to
do
send
that.
it
I'm
to you.
so
But
backed up on that stuff. Tomorrow we're gonna do some of these decants so I can get a little caught up. I'm so
yeah,
backed up on decants people have sent me. This is why you heard me when I was saying yes. That's why for the longest time I would tell people no, and they get mad at me because they want to send me stuff and get I get the whole idea on why, but it's like, man, stuff like this happens where when companies are sending me stuff, there's a little bit of an expectation like we'd really like to see this on the channel at some point. Okay, with you guys, I see you guys every day. Please be patient with me. Let me get the business out the way. You know what I mean?
your gym's going to have to be spread out and open for you to be rocking that, Vince.
Buddy, with something like that, it doesn't matter how big the gym is. People are going to smell you.
Hopefully your gym's outside.
Venice Beach or something. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Oh,
then I wouldn't want to wear that. Get all hot, really hot and sweaty in the gym outside with that on. Good Lord.
I was going to say, if he's at the Venice Beach gym, he better be hitting me up. I'll be pissed if he didn't. I don't live too far from there.
Have you ever been?
I've been. I haven't worked out like there because there are some massive people there,
It's the Mecca, you know.
and
So,
it's kind of awkward. I think it's more of like a tourist attraction. Like it would be awkward for me to like go there and work out. Like if I was visiting, maybe I'd be more down. But there's a lot of like people walking around, and I don't know.
it's probably not the workout experience you would want to have.
Yeah, I mean, I could just go to the gym or whatever, but I get it's like a cool tourist attraction for people. But as someone who's like there and like sees it a lot, it would
I'd like to hit it once, but it's not one of those deals where if I was around it, I'd probably have the same mentality as you.
Well, you got the body to like do it. See, people look at me and they're like, "Who is this skinny white dude who's blinding me?" Get this young Jewish boy back to temple or something. I don't know. Anyway, let's talk about another one before I say something that's going to get me canceled here.
I don't sweat that stuff. I say shit people don't like all the time.
Oh,
I say stuff people. Oh,
there we go.
We're back. No, I was going to say I say stuff people don't like all the time. Who cares?
That's true. I mean, just got to keep it real. All right. I know you've tried some of the ones from this house, but this one blew me away. This is Poets of Berlin.
I haven't tried that one. I have 4 fragrances. 4 from them.
Another vanilla. I'm going to respray it here just because I only smelled it once this morning.
Ooh, look at those accords. I see iris lurking in there.
Oh my God, it is good. Woody vanilla, like this combo.
Your eyes rolled before you even open your mouth.
Yeah, it's so good. It's got that, like, it moves me. It definitely moves me. Man, so good. It's so good.
When you're getting fist pumps when somebody's smelling a fragrance, you know it's good, guys.
Yeah, this is one of those where it's like, I don't need any more time. I'll tell you right now. I absolutely love it. Top notes of blueberry and lemon.
Ooh.
And the wood is a bamboo, which is really nice. And then the orris.
That's a pretty simple note breakdown, too.
Yeah, it's not like a crazy challenging fragrance, but the combination of the woods with the vanilla, I don't know if I've really smelled the fragrance that combines like woods and vanilla. There's some woods maybe in the base of a lot of stuff that has vanilla in the top, but to have it really be prominent woods right away with vanilla is something interesting. And it's not just like a cedar or a sandalwood, it's this bamboo.
That's an interesting note to have in a combination like this. A woody vanilla fragrance with some fruit. That's an interesting addition
It
Just
freshens the wood up a
it
little bit.
looks out of place when you just read it. Clearly, that's not the experience with smelling it.
Amazing for me. The blueberry isn't super prominent. I think that blueberry and lemon just gives it a little bit of maybe citrus freshness off the top. But really, the bamboo mixing with the vanilla is what I get, and it is a green orris. I guess it says it's green wild orris. Yeah, it's definitely green as far as like this.
It's
Orris.
probably the way the vetiver, the bamboo, and the orris all blends together. It probably gives this nice fresh green accord. Does that make sense?
Yeah, definitely.
It's probably a Haitian vetiver. Then the Haitian vetivers are typically a bit fresher. They don't have that earthiness or smokiness to them usually.
Yeah, nothing earthy or smoky here at all.
Yeah, it's probably Haitian vetiver then.
Creamy, really creamy, but not like dessert gourmand, but still like thick and creamy.
Based on the way you're describing it, the note breakdown makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, the note
Seems
breakdown
like as it reads is how it smells.
Yeah, it's kind of a sleeper. Never heard anybody talk about this one. This brand has some interesting ones.
I
know
think there's kind of a cult following for this one. This one's been out several years, I think. Huh? What's the release year? Does it say 2018 or something? Yeah, 2018. Yeah, it's been out for a little while. I want to say I've heard some things in years past about this one. Maybe when it was closer to its release. But that's one of the downsides to this is there's always new things coming out on to the next. This particular community has that culture. It's on to the next all the time. And some beautiful things such as this prime example, how you're experiencing this currently. It made your eyes roll, fist pump, all that. It must be incredible. At least for you, it's incredible, right?
Yeah, it is.
People forget about it. It's on to the next. You know, they've had so many releases in the 6, almost 7 years since this came out, just them alone.
Yeah, definitely. That's kind of the tougher thing is some of these brands like have so many fragrances. It's just hard to even know where to start. And there's some that get overlooked. Like you mentioned, it's kind of sad, but
yeah,
can't blame these brands. They need to keep pumping out new stuff. You know, they're trying to make money. They're trying to keep it new and fresh.
They got to compete. And then when it comes to a brand like Wilhelm, they want to come with something on the unique side that's going to captivate their audience because their audience expects not run of the mill. Like Morning Chest to smell like their Aventus was them fitting a trend, but brands like this typically don't run into the trends. They try to stand out.
And I've heard you talk about, they have a mango one that I've heard you mention, right? Mango skin.
Mm-hmm.
Let's pull that one up.
That's probably their most popular one in the last 2 or 3 years. There's a lot of clones of mango skin. You know, it's popular when it's getting cloned.
True. Tropical, fruity, sweet. Perfect for us California boys, as Vince likes to say. Well, Florida and California now in the building. Tropical.
And baby.
Yep.
All about the tropical stuff. Tons of oats. Almost 3,000. So it's to have close to a 4 like that's pretty impressive.
Definitely.
That many votes. Because you know how many dickheads voted in that too? Didn't screw the rating up?
I mean, especially on this side, it's like mainly dickheads. Yeah.
There's a reason I nicknamed it Troll Grantica.
I regret even using the site while you're on the screen.
Look, no, it's okay. Once in a while, I have to use it too. You know, it is what it is. It's not my first choice, but I do use it from time to time.
They also have a really crazy one. I think you may have smelled it once, but it really kind of.
I have one.
I liked it, but
I got it for the release.
You
got to really be into this earthy musk. It's like the name says, funk. It's got some funk. Oh yeah.
Yeah, if you guys are looking for something just completely different,
like kind of BO-ish.
Yeah.
Body odor kind of thing going on there. That kind of funk. Musty more than musky.
It's one of those you're going to keep smelling because it's so weird, like, but you can't stop smelling it.
It's not wearable for me, but I can appreciate. That's one of those I appreciate the artistry of it, but it's definitely not something I want to wear. It's just not my taste. I have a bottle of it. They had sent it to me. Twisted Lily had sent it to me for the launch a couple of years ago when it came out. I think it was like 3 years ago.
Yeah, definitely one that you just kind of pick up and smell the cap more so than you actually wear, right?
Yeah, that's definitely one just to refresh the palate, keep the Rolodex fresh in the memory bank, you know. Outside of that, it doesn't captivate me to want to smell it. Again, there's a lot of fragrances where I can just appreciate what was done, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's something I want to spray and go on about my day, you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's one of them.
one of the fragrances in here was Blue Talisman, and I'm definitely going to echo your sentiments on, yeah, it's overhyped. I don't really understand the hype. I think for the
Good.
price, it's good, but for the price, like, don't think it's worth the price tag, in my opinion.
Now look, if I could get that for 150, I'd have a bottle. I would.
Right.
I absolutely would. It is a great everyday wear. I understand why it has hype. I get it. I'm sure it gets a lot of compliments for people. It's just at that price, it's got to really move me. When we start eclipsing $200, I got to really, really want it because I have so much that even if it was 150, I know it's going to sit way more than it gets sprayed. That goes for so many fragrances. So for me to justify, which even then it's not justifiable for me to spend over 200 on the fragrance. It's not justifiable for me to buy any fragrances at this point, really, but I got to be captivated. I got to be like, oh crap, this needs to go in my collection. And I don't feel that way about it. It's unfortunate, but I still gave it an 8 out of 10. It's a great fragrance. I really understand why it gets so much love.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely agree with everything you said. Great fragrance, a little too expensive for me. I personally, what I would recommend for you guys would, in this particular situation, just go with the Alexandria or the Dua.
I haven't tried either of those because Fragrance World didn't impress me. It grew on me, but it damn sure didn't impress me. Taj too.
Yeah, I didn't get my nose on that one, but yeah, some people love it. I think it's good, but I'm kind of with Ross on this one. It's not worth it for me, at least.
Yeah, because Omas had sent me an 80 ml decan of his, and I sent it to Randy, and of course it leaked.
Oh god,
it didn't leak getting to me, but it leaked getting to Randy. Go figure.
No way.
Yeah. Because once I tried it, it was like, yeah, I don't need to keep spraying it because I know I don't want a bottle. So.
And okay, so I know you're a big fan of Iris, like me, and this is one of the best Iris fragrances. Clean Iris, like natural Iris. Do you have some experience with the House of Diptyque? I don't.
A little bit. Joe Anthony, when he was working for Diptyque, had sent me several of the box samples. I didn't try. My favorite one that I did try was Eau de Menthe, obviously a mint fragrance. I don't recall if I had tried Fleur de Peau. I don't know. I'd have to go back and see.
Yeah, so this one's in the sample set. It is an insanely high quality clean Iris. Like kind of like
considering it's aldehydic, that's interesting right there. I like aldehydes. They're really bright top note.
The cleanest, like quality, like real Iris, not that synthetic designer Iris. This is that real deal, like day 3, say less type Iris, that kind of Iris.
It's got a little bit of earthiness to it.
But it doesn't have the earthiness that the day 3 does.
So when it's orris butter, real orris butter, typically it'll be a creamy, soft, powdery Iris. When it's more of the flower, not the root, it actually smells more like the root. As weird as that sounds, like it depends on how it's created. Claude explained this to me years ago. It takes 3 years for the process of harvesting to cultivating to creation to where the oil's ready to use. It's a 3-year process. That's why it's so expensive. But there's ways to make it do different things. It all depends. Oh God, yeah, that's amazing. Gritty's got some incredible fragrances. My God. And you can get lucky and get some of them under $100. Mango Oud's like 181. It's not there yet at discounters as far as the price, but it's still cheaper than retail. Retail's like 250, but even 180, it's like just keep waiting. Keep waiting, Vince. Unless you just want, well, I mean, you wear Neffs to the gym, so you might have it like that. Go ahead.
We're staying on that, Vince. We're not letting you live that down today.
Yeah, you wearing something like that to the gym all willy-nilly, man. You might be racking back 30, 40 grand a month. I don't know.
Not familiar with that one, Joel, but again, another one I'm going to have to add to the radar.
He does like his Bois 1920 fragrances. That's a very, very good house. I have limited experience with them. The first time I tried anything from them was at the first Sin Explorer. They had a booth. They had a table set up. Their bottles are really nice. They're simple, but they have a color scheme to them. They're wood caps, really good quality wood caps. Beautiful fragrances. Very artistic.
Sounds great. I'm gonna have to add that to my.
That's a brand that they have a giant library of fragrances.
That sounds great. Have you tried Jadoub from Mind Games?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Been a little while since I smelled it, but yeah, that's a lot of people's favorite.
I get it. I think it's awesome. Speaking of fruity fragrances, since it is kind of in that fruity vein, does come off a little feminine to me. I'm trying to figure out how you spell it here.
Daube.
There's an apostrophe there, right?
D.
Sorry, what?
Jadobe. There's a D. You're forgetting the D.
I see it. I got it.
There's that D.
Yeah. Jadobe. Fruity, woody. Pomegranate. I thought it was raspberry at first to my nose, but apparently it's pomegranate. Don't have many pomegranate experience in fragrance, but
it gives it kind of an exotic feel.
Yeah, not your typical like fruity fragrance, but still,
which is a good thing. You don't want to smell that and say, "Oh, this smells just like this fragrance." That's the last thing you want with that kind of price range.
Yeah, exactly. When you're spending 300 plus, you better be a little unique. Yeah, lovely. A little bit on the feminine side. I don't know. Mind Games is just the price range. It's kind of like a brand that where realistically, if I bought one, I would probably only be able to get one. And I don't know if this is that one. French Defense. I'm a big fan of Veery just because I think it fits the lifestyle and I'd get a lot of use out of it. That would probably be the one that I would go for. Still haven't tried the Artisan.
It doesn't get any love. The first time I tried it, so they had sent me several of their sets with the travel atomizer sizes. And when I got to the woody olfactive set, Veery was the one. So when it came around to getting to pick a bottle, I picked Veery quick, fast, and in a hurry. Veery was my second bottle from them because, of course, I got Blockade first. Got to get their Aventus first. But Veery was a strong second place for me before I ever got my nose on French Defense. That is very, very underrated and underappreciated from the house. Anybody in a warmer climate, this is the Mind Games for you to try.
Definitely. I overlooked it initially, and I have to give you credit because I came back to it knowing that it was one of your favorites, and I kind of gave it another chance, and I was like,
Spring in a bottle. It's one of those springtime in a bottle kind of fragrance. It's very green.
I just find myself thinking, of all these fragrances, what's the one that I would actually really wear the most on a daily basis and get the most use out of? It'd be Veery. The Gambit was a little bit more like situational and dressed up for me, and had a little bit more of that 80s kind of like style, a little bit more fougere. So I'm a little bit more picky with that, but this you could wear every day and just lovely.
It's casual enough, yet semi-casual as well. Like you could somewhat dress this one up. I wouldn't want to go full on suit and tie with it, but you could if you really needed to. But on a typical day out, when it's anywhere from 55, 60 degrees Fahrenheit on up to the hottest of weather, this works.
Absolutely. And just really screams luxury and class and elegance to the extreme. So good looking out. And you know what else? I'm always really impressed, like how quickly you can kind of figure out what's really good. Because sometimes it takes me time or whatever, but you're good at like, oh yeah, that's the one and that's the one. But you obviously have a lot of experience.
Thousands and thousands and thousands of fragrances at this point, man. It's an obsession.
Your experience shows, my guy. So
look, I don't know it all. I just love it to the point to where I want to know as much as I can.
The passion definitely translates, so there's no doubt. Let's see any of these others that were kind of interesting. That, we talked about Blue Talisman, we talked about Tigar. There was a good Prada infusion. They had Ginger Bray. That one was okay. I don't think it's a must-have, but I'm kind of maxed out on these ginger fragrances at this point. But have you tried any of these infusion?
I've heard Infusion Iris is the one though.
Infusion Iris, okay.
I've heard that's the one. Leans feminine, but any Iris lover would appreciate it, from what I understand. It had some love years ago, before Prada L'Homme kind of took over, because I believe it was out before Prada L'Homme. Yeah, that's of it is what made them make Prada L'Homme, probably, because that was like their it fragrance for Iris for a while.
A little inspiration from there. Yeah, it's nice. It's not full bottle worthy, but it is nice. So there may be some people that really, really love this, and I understand it.
New release.
Yeah, I guess, yeah. But definitely worth getting your nose on if you're a big fan of ginger. But
that I am.
Not like I would take Ingenious Ginger over it personally. But a little different style.
Have you ever gotten around to 5 o'clock au Ginger Ombre, Serge Lieutenant?
No, I've not tried any Serge Lutens, and I'm realizing that I'm very behind because everyone is loving that brand and telling me about it.
That's the one, though.
5 o'clock Ginger Ombre. Okay,
that's the one I tell everybody. If you're a ginger lover, you owe it to yourself to try that one. That's my favorite ginger fragrance I've ever smelled. It's a lot of cacao pod and this warm, cozy type of ginger. It's tea. It's got a black tea note in it as well.
Oh,
it is so cozy. It's not real loud. Lasts a long time. It's high quality stuff. It's niche. It's man, it's very cozy. That's the word I always like to use. It's very cozy.
I love cozy fragrances. I love black tea. Anything anywhere similar to this is like my jam.
I believe black tea is the note, if I remember correctly. But yeah, this is some good stuff, man.
Yeah, cacao, I'm down with that.
And the cacao it's not super chocolatey. So the way this cacao comes across, at least in the formula I have an older bottle. My bottle's probably 7 or 8 years old. It's kind of a leathery, smoky type of accord that it gives off. It's not just chocolate like you would think.
Wow.
Yeah.
That sounds amazing. That's definitely on the Black Friday radar if that comes in stock.
That one's, and look, you can find that one under 100 typically.
Yeah, this brand is a solid pricing I've seen.
That one, Ombre Sultan and Chergy are probably the top 3 I would say must tries that I've ever smelled.
Yeah,
Chergy, that dry hay tobacco smell. It's just such a unique tobacco fragrance. Chergy is probably the most popular fragrance.
Do you like Chergy more than Naxos?
No. Wait. More than Naxos. I thought you were about to say Triumph of Bacchus. I was prepared for that. More than Naxos, yes.
Okay. All right. Because I recently got my nose on Naxos.
More interesting.
I'm digging it.
Naxos is for the masses. Chergy is for the enthusiast.
Okay.
That's how I would view that one. Everybody likes Naxos because it's just easy to like. Chergy is going to be more of an acquired taste.
Yeah, those gritties, they have some great ones. Like for the price, Rebellion. I heard you talk about that one.
It's basically slightly greener, niche Chanel L'Homme Sporto Extreme.
I'm a huge fan of that scent profile.
And it's cheaper. I got paid like $95 for it. That's cheaper than buying Chanel L'Homme Sporto Extreme. And it's higher quality. It's hilarious to me. Sometimes you can get the hookup. That's one of those where I felt like I got the hookup.
Great value. That's what we're all about here at the Fragrance Fraternity. Is we're looking for that value buy. Yeah, Leonora is great, Sven. You're absolutely right. Leonora is fantastic. I don't know if you've smelled that one yet. I don't think you have, right?
I may have. I've smelled most of the house. Okay. I smelled several when I was in Tampa with Omas. I've smelled 3 of their olfactive sets, plus Mentor I have now, which wasn't in an olfactive set. Because I smelled French Defense with Dedrick. Then I got the Amber Discovery set that had it in it. Then I was finally able to get a bottle. It's just, man, some are more memorable than others. I can't retain everything all the time. Like something about them has to stand out to me. And I've had a lot of people, when I've explained this in the past, when they bring up Lenora, they're like, how could you not? It's this, it's that. I get it. You've probably sprayed it more than I have. I've sprayed it probably just that one time, and it might have just been on a test strip. Because when I was doing those olfactive sets, I was doing test strips. It's definitely one I need to revisit.
Yeah, it's fruity, beautiful, little feminine to my nose, but it was the one that moved me the most initially. It was the one that I had the craziest reaction to. So for whatever that's worth. Let's see, any other here that are worth mentioning? This Diaz and Durga pistachio is interesting. Don't think it's better than the KLE, but it is the most nutty fragrance I've ever smelled by far. And a completely different take on a pistachio, like actual pistachio nut from this Diaz and Durga. Let me see if I can pull it up here. Kind of odd with how nutty it is.
At the top.
But yeah,
it just says nutty is the second accord.
It's not that ice cream vanilla cake type stuff that you
so
would
this
get.
One's probably a more masculine pistachio fragrance then, because KLE Yum Pistachio Gelatos leans feminine for sure.
Yeah, this one's more masculine. It's not as sweet. It's not as like gourmand. Just nutty, like
Yeah,
super
because that one
nutty.
was like ice cream and cotton candy and whipped cream, all kinds of stuff. It's fun, but not for everybody. Some guys are like, oh, that's a chick fragrance. I ain't doing that. I've been told this. So
It kind of is, but I like it, and I wear
I
it.
had a
I don't
funny
know.
comment today. So I don't know if you saw today's video when I mentioned Vanilla Oud, and I was like, I even sampled it first time I smelled it on Justin. I fell in love with it. Oh, I got to have a bottle. That quote. I had a guy ask me in the comments, "Who is Justin? Are you gay?" I was like, wow. I'm not even going to respond to you, dickhead. But
Yeah,
that's the kind of comment I got from that. It's hilarious. People crack me up on the internet, boy. I get some wild ones sometimes. That was mild, but I get some wild ones sometimes.
yeah. There's
Yeah.
you're
So
kind of also like
when
a
I talk
therapist.
feminine fragrances, oh, it's way worse. It's way worse.
Yeah, I feel like you're just doing damage control like half the time in your comment section.
That's why I patrol my comments so much. I get criticized for doing that, but it's my comment section. It's going to be the way I want it. So
Hey,
I try
man,
to make it a safe place.
if you're not getting hated on, you're not standing for anything, right?
Oh, yeah.
Whatever Eminem said.
Yeah, for sure.
Um, but yeah, this one was interesting. And did you ever get around to trying the real KLE? Because
No,
I
I
know
haven't.
you were kind of like, no, I don't need to try it for a
I really
while.
don't need to.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
Latafia Affection is actually really good. It's a sweeter, creamier take on it. And then you have the bright freshness of Care Pistachio. It's like I feel like I'm getting the best of both worlds having those two. Now, look, I'm sure if I tried the KLE, I'm sure it's a better quality fragrance than both of them. I'm confident in that statement, but I don't know. I get so much joy out of Care Pistachio. I don't feel the need. You know?
Yeah, you're good with the clone. I got a 10 ml of the real one just to like try it out, and I wear the clone more. I like it a little bit better. You get more like florals in the real one, and the real one does have a little bit more of like a feminine lean, but I like the mintiness of the Care Pistachio, and that one
Loaded with that geranium. That's what makes it so minty.
yeah, you're kind of missing that in the real one. I mean, the real one, it is a better blend and whatever, higher quality, but
You're muted. I can't hear you. Something came unplugged, I guess.
yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, you're back.
My nice mic got unplugged, so whatever. I'll just use
I've had my share of technical difficulties. I get it.
But yeah, I'd be wearing the clone over the real one. I think the geranium mintiness is really the aspect that I prefer over the original, even though the quality is obviously better with the original, like it always is.
Yeah, it always is. Look, when they clone designers, it's going to smell what and what. As long as they nail the profile, the quality is the same. It's when we're talking these luxury fragrances, it's like that magic I talk about. They're not going to capture that. They can reverse engineer it all they want. They can have whoever they want perfume it. It's not the original creation. You got to go with the original creation for that experience.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Can never beat the OG. Actually, very rarely.
Once in a while, you can. Like we're talking right now with Care Pistachio, and I haven't even tried. I'm going based off of what you've said. It happens, but I think it's far rarer than people want to say. You know, I think a lot of the times people are just convincing themselves the clone's better because they don't want to spend the money. You know.
Have you gotten any more wear out of this guy? I was stoked when you got to try it.
Not lately. Not lately. The next one I want to throw back in the rotation is VIP Wins, the green bottle. That's the one I've been kind of having my eyeball stuck to. I wore that one to dinner about 6 or 7 weeks ago, I want to say. It's been a little bit.
Yeah, this black is like it's special. It's got this absinthe. It's got obviously a bunch of vanilla and great performance. When people ask me about a clubbing fragrance, it's pretty much between this and Night Vision EDP is what I tell people.
And it doesn't have all of the youthfulness of some of the others that most people would recommend for the club. You know what I mean? Like that smells like somebody that's got his shit together a little bit more than somebody that's wearing 1 million ultra male or any of those things. You know, even Night Vision EDP, honestly, that's still pretty playful overall. It's better than the EDT by far, but it's also pretty playful. I feel like that still maintains some of that fun side of those fragrances, but again, a little more put together. Is that fair to assess? Does you kind of feel what I'm feeling here?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's got a decent amount of uniqueness. I mean, it is like a vanilla forward fragrance, so it's not like changing the game. But the combination of that absinthe and the slight kind of like black licorice nuance it provides is really great.
It's anise that's in there, right? It gives it that.
Anise, it may be. Let's check it out.
I think it's star anise, if I remember correctly. I could be wrong here. I want to say that's what it is, though.
And the magnetic cap is always cool. It's a good.
It is anise. It's one of the main accords.
Good call. Is that
what gives the anise can give you a licorice feel?
Okay. Yeah, I guess that must be it. Yeah, and it's definitely this black vanilla husk. So
it's a beautiful fragrance. Like when I first got it, I was like, okay, now I understand what I've been missing out on, because it's been getting love for a long time. It's kind of like people that are in the know. Like it's popular, but it doesn't get like broadcasted that it's popular. If that makes sense. Like you don't hear people talk about how popular it is, but a lot of people know about it.
Yeah, it's not the newest release. I think it's been out for a good little while.
7 years apparently.
Yeah. So, these things
highly rated. Over really a 4 with 2,400 ratings. That's impressive.
Yeah. You don't see that too often.
No.
So
that's impressive actually.
You guys are looking for a good budget kind of winter time,
$7, something like that for 100 ml. It's not really expensive. Like you said before, really good performer. It doesn't reinvent the wheel, but it's not like, oh, this smells like this, this, and this. It's this family of fragrances.
Yeah, admittedly, the opening is a little bit more interesting than when it dries down. You do pretty much get left with like a vanilla type, thing that you smelled probably before, but it's worth it even just for that opening. And don't let the absinthe kind of throw you off, because I know that can be a little bit more of a divisive note. It's not even, it's not even a note that I love either, but in this one, it really works, and it's very easy to understand and enjoy. And I was talking about it earlier, but I was really stoked that I blind bought this Triumph Elixir, because if I had just smelled this at a department store, I don't think that I would have gone for this type of scent profile, because it's different than what I typically go for. I just don't have as much experience with this type of like patchouli dominant type fragrance.
It's an oddball fragrance because it's a lot of patchouli. The violet leaf gives it this freshness, but it's also, even though they don't list it, it's loaded with all the incense and resin of Elixir, the original that it's flankered from. It's a slightly more earthy yet fresher take. It's weird. It's a weird fragrance, but that's what I like about it. It is a little weird. It doesn't remind me of anything else.
Definitely pushing the envelope of a designer. And the opening, it does have this mossy type vetiver that kind of threw me off, and it might throw other people off too. But really, the mid and the dry down, when that kind of chocolatey patchouli comes out, I realized, okay, I like patchouli, and I really, I'm down with patchouli, and I know that for sure after wearing this. So it kind of opened my horizons to a new scent profile.
I think it's one of the better designers released this year. That and Absolute, both the flankers they released this year, are going to be in my top 10 designer releases. I think they're really good. Joel has an interesting question. VIP Black, is it a lighter version of Mancera Black Candy? Have you ever smelled Black Candy?
I haven't. I've been wanting to, though.
That's an interesting one. It's very powdery, very black licorice candy sweet, like smells like actual candy in your, like a handful of like hard candies. It is not for everyone. It is one of the most unique candy fragrances I've ever smelled. I quite enjoy it. It's been a little while since I wore it. I bought a partial from Hillary when she called it a spring cleaning sale. That was one of the fragrances. I bought her 50 ml of Virgin Island water. That's how I got the bottle of Virgin Island water. And because I used to have a decant oven, I was like, one day I'm going to get oud black candy. It's not full of oud like you would think, because they got oud in the name. It's very unique. Some people will think it's terrible, and some people, such as myself, will find it so interesting that even if you don't wear it all the time, it's worth having in the collection for that offshoot chance you want to be different and have a conversation starter. Because there's something just so oddly attractive about it, because it is candy, it is powdery, but it's very dark and very different at the same time. It's a very unique candy fragrance. I can't stress that enough.
I'm very interested now because if there's one thing that I love in a fragrance, it's uniqueness. If you tell me
It's weird.
something's unique, I almost want to have it because I love uniqueness. And if it's
To
appealing,
answer Joel's question, though, not really. Not really. If you smell VIP Black and you've smelled Oud Black Candy, I just can't imagine thinking of the other when you smell one of the two. Very different fragrances. I know we mentioned licorice and all that, but this is a very different type of black licorice accord that's in Oud Black Candy.
do you get any of that funk like in Oud Cafe? Because I was not really loving that one from Mancera.
Not as much as you would think.
Okay.
It's more powdered candy and licorice.
Sounds great.
Distinctively some licorice. Yeah.
That sounds amazing.
It's a weird fragrance. Like straight up, like anybody that hates black licorice would hate this fragrance.
Yeah. Definitely won't be giving it to my brother then because he does not get down with the black
My wife
licorice.
does not like it. That's one of the reasons I don't wear it much. She does not like it. She doesn't understand why I like it.
Very important. You got to make the wife happy.
That's
Happy
why
wife,
I have
happy
rare
life.
situations to wear it. Once she claims she doesn't like something, it's like, oh shit.
Not that I would know.
The ones that she doesn't care for, but she doesn't mind me wearing. The way she describes it is that smells like something you like. When she says that, it's like, all right, so you don't like it, but I can wear it around you. That's what that means. I can wear it around you, though. It doesn't bother you. But that's her thing. And most of the time, that is the response I get. When it's something I really like, it smells like something you like. Damn it.
At least she's letting you off the hook nice. At least she's not like, oh, this is god awful.
Boy, when I wear something designer sweet, she's in love. Wear this more. I love this one. That's one of the main reasons I have so many sweet designers. Is that's her favorite. She loves the sweet designers.
I've watched your channel enough to know Silver Mountain Water.
Oh yeah, buddy.
I
talked about it in the shorts video I did a couple hours ago.
And La Nuit de l'Homme. Those are like the top 3 for her, right?
Especially the Le Parfum, specifically.
Right.
She likes all of the La Nuit de l'Homme flankers, really. If it has the tie-in to the original, she loves it. But Fierce DNA as well. She's big on Percival. She loves Percival.
Oh, hell yeah. Love Percival as well. I've gone ad nauseum about telling people how much I love it.
So good.
Okay, while you're here, this is good. I've been wanting to tell you about this.
Okay.
This is Ahmed. I've been hooked on this. Absolutely hooked on this. Ahmed Alma Greeny Blue Oud. And since
you have mentioned that to me.
If the time comes, nope, I don't want to pressure you to tell you because you got a whole operation going over there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But at some point, if this comes in the stock and you find it, something like you might want to pick up, I highly recommend it. You like blue fragrances, and this is one of the best blues I've ever smelled. It's got the Tuscan leather, fruity leather oud type thing going on, but it's also got like this Dylan Blue and Sauvage mass appeal going on at the same time. It blends both worlds perfectly.
Interesting.
It's got like a little bit of this blue Jolly Rancher vibe too that I've been looking for a long time. I think I mentioned that to you before.
You have mentioned that to me, not this couple of months ago, actually, because you were asking me if I knew of any fragrances that smelled like that.
And this has that blue Jolly Rancher. It's kind of like a fruitiness. It's kind of like a candied sweetness, but perfectly blended and still enough interest with that leather and the oud, like saffron maybe. Tuscan leather meets Sauvage type deal. So good. Had people chasing me down in Trader Joe's trying to figure out what this was because they're like, yeah, we don't get anybody wearing stuff with that kind of scent profile in here.
So it comes across as mass appealing as several others, but kind of its own thing at the same time, basically.
Yeah, it's got interest with the leather and the oud. You definitely get that. It's on the more synthetic side of that, but it's prominent. But it also has like that blue shower gel thing going on at the same time. And usually those two things don't work together when you try to combine them. Mm-hmm. But this just does it so perfectly. And it adds to the versatility because you can wear this dress down if you're looking for a blue fragrance and you're just kind of bored of the same old shower gel type stuff. You're a fragrance person. You want that interest. You want that complexity, that depth, that little bit of leather that is prominent here. But at the same time, you don't want something so challenging that you couldn't just, wear casually and think, this is great. This is phenomenal. Great performance, Great quality for the price. The
That's
bottle
Ahmed
is a
Al-Maghribi.
little cheap, but
That's
don't
Ahmed
even.
Al-Maghribi.
Ahmed Al-Maghribi Blue Oud. I don't think they're in socket fragrance buy right now. Oh my god, dude. I know you're gonna love it. I just know you're gonna love it.
I'm trying to see who's got a note breakdown so I can check it out. Let me check out Parfum.
Our tastes align when it comes to these type of fragrances, and I would almost bet any amount of money that you would absolutely love it. It's in my top 10. It's entered the top 10, which is crazy. Well,
here we go. Ahmed Al-Maghribi. Parfum has it. Bergamot, cypress, leather, incense, violet leaf, geranium, patchouli, musk, oud, gaiac wood. Okay. Leather accords, smoky. Got some darker woods. Patchouli come across earthy or creamy?
don't get much patchouli.
Okay.
I get more of the leather and the oud, and then other than that, just like Dylan
Do you
Blue.
find it's pretty rather smoky because it's got incense and gaiac wood?
A little smoky, but I wouldn't call this a smoky fragrance.
Interesting with that note breakdown. It's because it reads like it would be pretty smoky.
It's like the same way that Dylan Blue is smoky.
Yeah, because I get the smokiness out of Dylan Blue.
It's that same level of smokiness.
Okay, that makes sense.
That same level of incense.
That makes sense.
It doesn't have all the grapefruit of Dylan Blue. Of all the blues, I think I'd probably.
I think Joel blocked that dude. I was gonna question him a bit. Joel, did you block the James Lawson dude? Because I noticed on YouTube the comments are gone.
Yeah,
because you would be able to tell because it's your channel. I'm not a moderator, so I can't see that kind of stuff.
I can see it on StreamYard.
It's on StreamYard. Because I was going to ask him because I don't necessarily know if he was trolling, Joel. Because he said, "Leave it to TLTG, who will expose other fragrance reviewers." LOL. So my question, if he meant it in a good way, me being on here wouldn't have anything to do with it showing up on someone's feed. So it's like, if you don't know who Michael is, how are you here? Would be my question.
Yeah, I don't even know
what I wanted to ask, but he's gone now.
Yeah, James, if you're still here,
please. He said didn't block yet, just deleted. So Joel's blocking his account.
He might still be listening. I mean, I don't even know.
He's probably still here. If you don't, James, seriously, I'm very curious if you don't mind weighing in. Because based on, I'm just taking it how it reads, based on the way you typed it, I'm assuming it was a good thing. Like I'm bringing someone to the light. But how would you know I'm here? And how did you find this live stream in the first place if you don't know who Mike is or never seen Mike before? I'm genuinely curious.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Here has nothing to do, as far as I know, with triggering anything on someone's feed. Like, TLTG's on this live stream. Here's a video you might want to watch because you watch TLTG. I don't think that's a thing, but I don't know. That's why I'm asking. I'm very curious.
Yeah, if you guys also are listening to the way I describe a fragrance as I stumble through my very mediocre reviews, and then you listen to Ross, yeah, it may look like he's here exposing me, but that's just.
I don't think. I'm trying to give the benefit of the doubt that it wasn't meant negatively. That's why I'm genuinely curious, though. That's why I'm asking.
Yeah, I was just going to troll him right back. I was like, yeah, he's just here to expose.
I don't know if he was trolling because his first comment was, "It's ever," but I'm pretty sure he meant never heard of this guy before. That was the comment before the other one that we just talked about. So I was just assuming. I'm assuming it was genuine. I got to take it how it reads, right? So I figured I'd ask some questions like, well, how'd you get here then?
Yeah, James, let us know. Let us know if you're trolling or not. Let's set the record straight here.
Yeah, please do.
At least with Vince, I know he's trolling. There's no doubt.
Yeah, but it's playful. It's like with Jason.
Yeah.
Same thing.
I love Vince. I for the newer people, they may get confused because you're pretty. Well, you also have. More
I'm pretty harsh on Jason, but Jason loves it. He wouldn't have it. I talked to Jason today. He wouldn't have it any other way.
Yeah. You guys have a good back and forth.
Me and Jason are buddies. This is our dynamic. If I know you're good with it, you actually welcome it, you want it, and you're going to give it back. That's how I'm going to talk to you. That's what we're going to do. Yeah.
Yeah. It comes to the point when you get to know a person to the point where you can start talking shit to them. That
Yeah,
means
that's
they're your
what we
friend.
do, man.
That means that you guys are cool now.
Jason's a good dude. He's a good dude. We just like to give each other a hard time. He's a good dude.
Definitely. You gotta have a sense of humor these days, people.
Nobody has a sense of humor anymore, man.
Yeah.
Not in this community, anyways.
I know you like that Herfa. It had a weird bottle.
Yes,
You like
very
the
much.
fragrance.
Arwa is my favorite though from them that I've tried. Arwa is really good.
Okay, let's pull that puppy up.
ARWA.
Let me go to the site. ARWA.
Go to Parfum. So instead of UMO, it's OOM. PARFOOM.com. Parfum.
Okay.
That's where you can find a lot of the clones and Middle Eastern stuff to get no breakdowns.
Oh, cool. I didn't know that.
Parfum.
And what was the name of that?
Just type in Arwa, ARWA, it'll pop up. Third one. Yep.
Orange pepper powdery, lavender, patchouli, pink pepper, spicy. Ooh, honey.
It's a warm, woody, powdered citrus.
Warm, woody, powdered citrus.
That's the easiest way I can explain it. You don't get loads of honey, but you do get the amber and the labdanum, warm it up. You get the spicy notes. You get the orange and the powdery notes. That's the main things I get. It's not over the top spicy, but it does accentuate the amber really, really well and balances the powder. It's a warm, powdered, woody citrus. It's actually quite unique. If it's cloning something, I sure don't know what. I don't think it is because I haven't smelled another fragrance that smells like it. This is really good.
Yeah, this brand it's certainly made itself known with how much I love Blue Oud that now I've looked into some other ones. This one is going to be on the radar.
This is really good, dude. You can wear this every day, especially if you don't mind powdery fragrances. But again, it's not floral powder. It's not a flowery type of smell. You get the woods and the peppers and the orange. You get a lot of the orange too for a long time. It stays. Yeah, it's really good and strong.
Like everything I
you don't
like.
need a lot of praise.
Love it. Definitely have it on my radar now. Latani, I know, is one that kind of been mentioned here as well that people seem to like. I don't know if you've tried that one though.
I may have. I've tried so many damn fragrances, man. They slip through tracks on the Rolodex sometimes on memory.
Well, I got you here. I'm going to keep firing them at you because,
cool.
gotta make the most.
I'll hang for a little bit longer.
All right. So this is Defy. This is the Parfum.
Haven't smelled the Parfum.
All right. Do you want me to see anything?
Yeah, go for it. No, that's fine. Go for it. I don't know when I'm going to get it. I'll get it one day.
The EDT was like YEDT.
Woody YEDT, yeah.
Yeah. The EDP was really leathery and
very different.
Yeah. Not like the best
peppered
leather.
Orange and leather. Pepper, orange, and leather. It's literally the notes they give you. It's exactly how it smells.
Yeah. And like the leather, especially as it dries down, it's like all I get. But this one goes a different direction. Definitely more of this tonka bean. It's pink pepper sweet. You don't get any of that leather, but you still get kind of like the darkness of the EDP, like how it's kind of like a smoky blue. This has also got that same smokiness, but more of a pink pepper sweetness and a cacao base. So this is kind of like Bad Boy EDT with a bunch of pink pepper and maybe a little bit of like Womo signature, like the tonka bean overload of Womo signature and like that level of sweetness is here as well. I think this one is highly, highly slept on. I got this 100 ml for $40 from Marshall's. No one's shown this one any love because I think they have PTSD from the EDP.
Maybe so. It sounds really freaking interesting, though.
It is phenomenal, and I think it's got, it could dethrone Dylan Blue as one of the best affordable blue fragrances. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and say that.
That's a powerful and bold statement there, sir.
It is there.
You know what kind of crap people will give you for defaming their beloved Dylan Blue like that?
I'm not gonna like say unequivocally it is better than Dylan Blue because I love Dylan Blue, but it's right there. It's right there with it.
That's a strong statement right there. That's a man standing behind a fragrance and putting his seal of approval is what that is.
I've tried to think that this is overrated so many times, but I just
But was it ever really highly rated though?
no, but when it first came out, I was like, okay, there's no way I'm buying this at retail.
No,
Because
that
I
ain't
smelled
right.
it right when it came out, and I was like, okay, these CK fragrances. But then it's really about the price. It really comes down to the price. Like for $40, this is a steal. Performance is amazing. The criticism that this one could get, that I could see people giving this, is that it's a little generic, that they've smelled this before. But
Sounds pretty blue to me, like something
it
I
is
definitely
very blue.
I need to get.
It's blue and chocolatey, like Bad Boy EDT. It's phenomenal. And it's got enough sweetness that, not like cloying like YEDP, but it's got that same kind of level of sweetness.
Controversially rated scent, controversially rated bottle.
Yeah, I think people a lot are going to say, oh, I've smelled this before. This is nothing new, which I don't think it's anything new either. But I know me and you, we just can appreciate a really good blue fragrance, even if we.
Yeah, I mean, I get it that like when you look at the number of blue fragrances I have, like I've created subgenres for blues because I have so many at this point. It just comes down to taste, because I mentioned this the other day, that don't let your palate get to snobbery level where you start looking down on designers and you're too good for designers and stuff, because there's more days than not that I'd rather just spray a designer and go. I know I'm gonna smell good. When I get whiffs of it, I'm gonna like it. Anybody around me it happens to smell me, they're gonna like it. I just like stuff that just works. It just works. It's just gonna do what I want it to do. I don't have to explain anything. Sometimes you want a conversation starter and you want to talk about this interesting fragrance, but most of the time, at least for me, I don't want to talk about my fragrance. I just want to roll. If you want to tell me I smell nice, that's great. Thank you. And we keep pushing. But, I think that's where blue fragrances really shine. And I don't truly believe if you got one, you got them all. I think there's more diversity in the genre than people want to admit. There's a lot of redundancy, sure, but I think there's a good bit of diversity that's kind of outspoken here.
Well said. And yeah, this is definitely something you can get use out of. Between the two, if you were only going to get one, I would still go with the Blue Oud, because it is a little bit more unique and interesting with that leather combo, something I haven't really smelled done before. But this is still phenomenal. And for $40, the value is incredible.
Yeah, I need to add that to cart. Let me add that to the current cart I'm building on Fragrance Buy if they got it in stock.
Yeah, I'm sure you're going to love it.
It is in stock. 50 ml is $35. They only have a 50 ml, but that is fine. That is all I need.
Yeah, it's a strong fragrance too. It's great performance. A couple sprays, you'll be set all day.
Yeah, 50 ml is all I need, man.
The cacao is lovely, especially as it dries. It's an addictive scent. Kix Griffey asks, have I smelled? I have not smelled that one. Have you smelled that one?
Joel was trying to get me to buy it the other day. Last time I did was it the last time we went shopping on a live stream? I think it was just a different live stream. I don't even think we were shopping. Joel was trying to get me on it. Him and I forgot who else were talking about it in the chat. Apparently Kix got it. I'm sure it's good. Joel always hits me with some good stuff. Everything I bought that Joel's like, you should get this or else you'd like it. He was right. But I don't know. Maybe at some point. I'll let more people keep being guinea pigs for me first. Mainly because it'll drive Joel crazy. He's like, why aren't you just getting it? We keep telling you it's good.
Yeah. I got a list of stuff to try, and like half of them are at least Joel Matrix recommendations. So
Cedar Malaki. I don't know if you've gotten that one yet from Chopard. That was the first one I took him up on, and I love it.
I remember. I'm going to write that one down.
Mm-hmm.
Cool, guys. Well, I think this is a good point to wrap it up. We're almost at 2 hours, and we spent a good amount of time here with Ross as well, coming in here with his knowledge and allowing me to push some cheap fragrances on him.
I'm always down for the value.
So
I'll never get away from the value. I could win $100 million in the Powerball tomorrow. I ain't getting rid of my cheap fragrances.
That was one of the things that drew me to you. You were one of the only people that wasn't like completely shitting on blue fragrances. And
I can appreciate something that's so challenging and artistic. I would never wear it daily, but I can find the love for the artistry and the creation and the story they're trying to tell me, and then go wear a $15 Abercrombie fragrance and have just as much fun right after.
Oh yeah.
You know,
Quick story, just to wrap up. I've been wanting to say this on live while I had Ross, and I kind of forgot, but just a real funny thing. The first time Ross ever saw who I was, he saw a video of me where I was legitimately almost word for word copying his review of CK All. And
I
he
remember.
was so cool about it that he didn't give me shit for it. And he even like pushed my channel. So that just goes to show you like how cool he is. And yeah, I legitimately copied him word for word because I didn't know what the hell I was doing.
I remember that distinctively. I was like, well, he clearly watches me. I think that's what I told you. You clearly watch my channel.
Yeah, it was legitimately like almost word for word the way he described it. Yeah.
I remember that. Yeah. That was about 2.5 years ago or something like that. It's been a while, because that was around the time I had got CK All, man. By the way, if you've never tried CK All, guys, one of the better random pickups you can get at a Ross Dress for Less for about 20, 25, 30 bucks. Depends on your Ross Dress for Less. Very bright citrus, creamy, fresh white florals. Good. Really good stuff.
Yeah, there was a PDM in here, I think Valea or something. It was also a great white floral citrus for women, but thought it was phenomenal. But anyway, that'll be it. If anybody has any final things, drop it down. Otherwise, appreciate you guys being at the Fragrance Fraternity. Love these Wednesday live streams. Love chatting with you guys. We've got a great little solid community here. And keep smelling good out there, people. Keep being positive influences in your community, and keep it fragrant at the Fragrance Fraternity. Any final things, Ross?
Not really. I appreciate everybody showing some love, showing support, and great chat. Still waiting to hear back from our guy, not James Lunford, the other James Lawson, I think it was. He never answered. I don't know what happened. I think Joel deleted his comment and he left. Good job, Joel. You're doing your job well, sir. But Mike, thanks for having me on. Always a pleasure. I had a little bit of time to kill. I just happened to click on right when my name got mentioned. That was funny enough. People had mentioned my name in the chat. So it's always a pleasure to come hang with you. I appreciate the long-term love and support. I try to show it right back. And anybody that happens to see this, whether it's live right now or watching the replay, don't forget to subscribe and turn on all notifications for Fragrance Fraternity.
See you guys. Thank you.